Welcome to the Muddied Waters of Freedom with your hosts, Matt Wright and Mohammed Shaker.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the Vanguard. For Mohammed, I'm here on a Tuesday Shaker. I am Matt Wright, and together we are traversing the muddied waters of freedom. Hey, buddy.
I never did a mic check.
No, I mean, neither did I, so I was just really hoping this was going to work. As soon as we went live, I was thinking, oops.
Yeah, we have a new person on the show. That's why everything's weird.
Not only, but it's also a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, it's a Tuesday.
So, first of all, let's thank Low Tide Kava Bar for the kava that we're going to be drinking during our show.
Did you buy that, or did they give it to you?
Oh, I bought this.
You don't have to thank them.
You don't have to thank them.
Definitely not thinking
All right. Thanks, Low Tide.
Thank you.
Bula.
I'll still drink with you guys.
That's why it's the Muddied Waters of Freedom.
Right.
Exactly.
So we have Mr. David Leatherwood on our show today. Thank you for coming on, David. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so for anybody out there wondering why the hell we're doing a show on a Tuesday instead of our normal Saturday, it's because our new normal is going to be on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock Eastern. Correct, Mohammed?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, we have an entire week's lineup of shows for you. Starting next week on Mondays, we're going to be having Mohammed with his show Mo Liberty.
With Brohammed.
With Brohammed.
That's the whole name.
Sorry. Mo Liberty with Brohammed. On Tuesdays, we're going to be doing the Muddied Waters of Freedom. On Wednesdays, we have My Fellow Americans with...
Fellow Americans.
Fellow Americans. With Spike Cohen.
I feel like no one's going to get that.
I'm certain a few people will. On Thursday, we have the Writer's Block with me, and then on Fridays, we're going to be co-promoting Mill Liberty with Caleb Franz. So it's an entire week's worth of freedom and liberty being jammed down your throats and ears, just so you can stay up to date on every little thing going on. But we're going to give you the weekends off. So there will be no homework over the weekends. But David, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. This is my very first podcast.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
What? Man, I remember my first one. I had no idea what was going on. They were just like talking to that. And, okay.
Yeah. And now you're 69ing.
Yes, today it is. Yes, today is episode 69. 69
We've come
today.
such a long way.
We have come such a long way. Today is 69. Everybody's getting off about something today. Very, very happy that we have finally made it to the very special episode of number 69.
Yeah.
And of course, it's the episode that I'm here.
Exactly.
It's a party. Perfect.
It's going to be a party today. I can't wait.
Yes, it will be.
So, we just did a show Saturday. So, I mean, I really haven't done a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, we're
since
going to be going over almost the same stuff we went over because nothing changed much.
But we are able, since I did not attend the event this weekend, and I know that you are working the event this weekend.
What event?
Man, it was gay day.
Oh, yeah.
It was every men's bathroom stall was occupied by 2 or more people day.
Yep.
Spilling out into the line.
I made $20 extra this weekend. Wink, wink.
Muhammad had a rider in his car who was offering him money to perform fellatio.
Yeah.
Did that really happen?
I wouldn't make something up like that.
Oh my god.
Which is how Muhammad has $20 extra.
I mean, no matter how much I deny it, everyone's gonna think I did it. So yeah, fine. I have $20 extra.
Listen, Muhammad, you're not gay, but $20 is $20.
$20.
Right?
$20 is $20. Man.
I should have just done it.
A little roadhead here and there, always a good time.
Yeah, I picked this guy up like on the other side of Hawkers. Is it Hawkers? No, it's that little, the roundabout thing by Grassroots. That's 10th, or is it not? Yeah, 10th.
Right.
Street.
Yeah, over by kind of like Bodega and.
Yeah. So whatever that place, there's a place there that was like packed till 4 a.m.
That's is that the Independent?
Or is that Is Enigma there? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Enigma's kind of close, and there's the Independent.
Okay, no, it was Enigma. It was Enigma. I picked him up at Enigma.
Okay.
Yeah, cool dude, and they'll come home.
I mean, giving.
Yeah.
Truly giving.
Yes.
Very generous spirit.
He was drunk. He knew he was drunk. He's like, I'm really drunk. And he's like, just let me do it, man. He's like, it's Pride weekend. Yeah. And I was like, that's true.
I mean, that's an argument. You have an argument there.
We're allowed to do whatever we want on Pride weekend.
Right. I mean, you're just showing support at that point.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I was mainly worried that I might enjoy it too much, and then I'd learn something about myself. And then, oops, I don't like blonde girls. I like blonde guys.
Muhammad, is it time for you to come to the dark side?
There's 2 blonde guys in this room. I'm starting to feel a little hot.
Is that why we're on for episode 69? You were like,
yeah.
I'm lining this up right now.
Yeah.
It's a setup.
Oh, this is going to work out so well.
What kind of webcam show is this?
Well, see, there's also a couple of hidden ones that you don't know about.
But yeah, well, to answer your question, it was pretty packed down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, wow. Okay, it was very busy down there.
There you go.
Yeah. It was very busy. Like, I've never seen all of St. Petersburg surging until 5 in the morning. That's when I went home. I was like, this is money, but I need to go home right now. So I stopped driving about 5 in the morning, and yeah. That's all I did this weekend.
Gotcha.
That's it.
So what about you?
So I went to Pride, and it's not an event that I typically get really into, but this year I wanted to go to make a statement, because I came out as gay when I was 19 years old. So that was like 11 years ago. So
okay.
It's nothing new for me. However, I came out again a second time as a conservative about 2 years ago, which, being a gay person and then being conservative on top of that, it's like not accepted. It's like, no, you don't do that. And so I actually went to Pride, wore my full Make America Great Again hat, wore my Trump shirt with my buddy, Gays for Trump, and just to shake things up. And we took some signs down there, and the front said, it's okay to be a gay Trump supporter.
Right.
Which is kind of just a very simple, non-threatening, non-aggressive just statement. And just to kind of challenge people's ideas and shake things up. Because it's Pride. It's supposed to be acceptance. And then on the other side, it said, stop bullying Trump supporters. So anytime there was a jerk that was like, no, fuck Trump or whatever, I just flip it around. And then they'd instantly just shut their mouth and walk away. So
yeah, good.
Yeah. But actually got such a positive response. I mean, way more than I ever expected. And really, it was just the idea of respecting diversity. And it's not just diversity in your sexuality, your sexual orientation, or your gender, or whatever. It's diversity of thought as well, which is really key. And something that's important to me, and part of my message, to others is, even if you don't agree with somebody, at least respect them and respect their differences. I think that's key right now in a time when things are really polarized.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that. And in this world that we live in now, this country that we live in, everything is very polarized, and it's like you're with us or you're against us. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. Somebody was at some comedy show recently down in like Tampa or Bradenton or something.
Right.
And somebody stood up like after a bunch of the comedians and started listing how the different people that were disparaged by the different comedians. And like his girlfriend apparently started clapping and everything. And I'm just like, wow, they're killing comedy too. Like,
Oh yeah,
you can't even joke about things anymore, you know? Like,
Right.
like we have a lot of gay friends in the cop, so I love to joke about my gay friends, you know, and
Of course.
most of them are, well, I'd say all of them are cool with it, but like you can't really do that outside of the circle, or else people will think you're a homophobe or something, you know.
Right.
right.
It's like, dude, like this is normal. You know, people make fun of me. That's fine.
Right.
You know, I get patted down every time I walk into low tide.
Yeah, well, yeah. Everybody these days has got their panties in a bunch. I mean, everybody loves a good gay joke. You gotta let loose and laugh a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Not take things so seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the death of comedy has been going on for a while, and Canada is doing everything it can to just put that final bullet right into it.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Trudeau is killing all of free speech in Canada, and Seth Rogen is cheering him on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, Seth, you're a comedian.
Yeah.
You made that stupid movie about North Korea that the only reason that it made any money whatsoever is because somebody hacked into Sony.
Yeah.
Like,
That was wild.
yeah, like you should be about free speech, and no, don't censor what I say when it's in the name of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because I may offend some people doesn't mean it's not funny.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
half of what we say on this show, I find to be hilarious,
Right.
Yeah.
and many people find it offensive.
So I introduced Matt to Owen Benjamin. Do you know who Owen Benjamin
I
is?
don't. Sorry,
should
Owen. I
look
don't
up-
know who you are.
You should look up Owen Benjamin.
Okay.
He's a
He-
comedian.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
okay.
he does not watch this show.
Okay. I was like, maybe he's out there. I don't know.
I hope he watches
I hope
this
he
show.
watches the show. If he does, awesome.
I'd be happy. Yeah, no, Owen Benjamin's a comedian. He's really funny. And
He's a regular on Crowder.
yeah, he's a regular on Crowder,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think, from what I've seen, he doesn't get political in his jokes. He's actually pretty inclusive with his jokes. Like my favorite joke, the how to not get murdered, you know, like the snapped, you know, the snapped. He was talking about the wife and like how to not get killed by her or whatever.
Right.
It's the first one I think I showed you.
Maybe.
I didn't do that.
Okay.
And
I know why he got banned from Twitter.
yeah, because apparently he picked on a kid. It was what's his name?
He picked on David Hogg.
Yeah, he picked
Not
on
a
David
kid.
Hogg. Yeah,
18.
yeah.
Yeah.
He picked on David Hogg, and he said, "I'm not listening. I'm not going to take. I'm not going to take advice from somebody who doesn't have pubes yet."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So people started saying that he was basically acting like a child molester, apparently, because he's talking about a child's private parts.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that when you say he doesn't have pubes on, you know, down there yet, it means you're just saying he's not a grown man yet.
Right. He hasn't gone through puberty.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but no, their excuse was, you know, child molestation or whatever,
Right.
and yeah, it was pretty stupid when that happened.
Yeah. So he is banned from Twitter forever.
Yeah.
So speaking of offensive, are you allowed in the country?
Yeah.
Are you? The Supreme Court.
No, they're gonna come and grab me, the FEMA people.
Right. I mean, we now have a Muslim ban in the country, so
Yeah.
if
I
they're going to
heard.
come in, the back door is unlocked. You can just walk right in.
I was about to look like what?
The Supreme Court upheld the Trump's travel ban in a 5-4 vote today.
Yeah, which it is a travel ban.
It is a
Travel
travel
ban.
ban.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
It is not a religious ban.
And I don't know why I never saw this. One of you just showed it to me. Venezuela and North Korea is on the list.
Yeah,
Like that's definitely not.
That's
they're not
not-
Muslim at all.
right. That's not a Muslim.
Venezuela's probably, I think, very Catholic, and I think North Korea is very.
It's very
Yeah.
Oh, they believe in communism, so they whatever the hell
right.
they pray to the communes of Karl Marx. or
Karl Marx,
something.
right?
Yeah.
they pray to the altar of Karl Marx.
Yeah.
They pray to the altar.
I'm assuming
of no
North Koreans
food.
are actually some kind of religion, right? But they
I think they worship like Kim Jong Un.
Right.
Like they
Fucking
literally like worship his entire
but
bloodline
they're supposed to be a Buddhist or something, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's either Hindu. It's probably
No.
no. It's not Hindu.
Yeah, Buddhist.
Buddhist.
Probably.
Yeah. Buddhist
Yeah.
makes sense.
Buddhists are maybe even Confucian, but anyways, it doesn't matter.
There's
The point is, communists make you pray for them.
There's actually an amazing documentary called Kim Jong Ilia, which is interviews with people, North Koreans who had escaped the regime, and I mean that just alone is like an incredible insight. But I mean, a lot of those people were talking about how they were just completely brainwashed and didn't. I mean, they literally just worshipped.
Yeah,
Their leaders like they were gods.
Yeah. Which, I mean, back in World War II and before that, Japan was doing the exact same thing. And one of the things
but that was different because that was more of a monarchy type thing.
True, but
Like,
I mean, it's still the worshiping. It's still the
it
worshiping
wasn't
of the
forced.
leader.
That was like kind of embedded in Japanese culture, you know?
Right, but is that embedded in Japanese or just Asian culture in general?
Maybe. I mean,
That's
it
where
was
I'm-
more so in
That's
Japan.
interesting.
Yeah, that's
No.
that's why I'm wondering if it's where that
No,
kind of stemmed from.
no, that's definitely like communism. Like
Yeah.
the is it the Jongs? What the? How does that work? Is their last name Jong? Kim Jong Il and son and
I think it's Kim.
whatever.
I think Kim is their last name.
Yeah. No, I think no. That was them and communism that brought that worship of the dear leader thing.
Right. Well, I was just I was
yeah.
going to say the Japanese were doing that before World War II, and then
Yes.
we paraded their guy out there, and he was like this tiny little Japanese guy.
Yeah.
And he was obviously not the god that they had been worshiping all this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when it was like, look, we're going to break your leader down in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow Kim Jong-un is, 4 feet tall and looks like a basketball. And people were like, oh, no, I fear that man, which I get because he's
Yeah.
insane. But
And like slightly off topic, North Korea is disbanding this year's anti-American rally.
I
And
did
it's one
see
of their,
that.
It's I guess on the birthday of the Korean War or something. And yeah, they canceled it. They're not doing it. And that's like
Incredible.
a very, very new thing that hasn't happened.
Right.
Either hasn't happened at all ever or hasn't happened for the specific reason of becoming friends with the United States.
Right.
So whatever Trump's doing with the Koreas is working.
it is.
And that's cool.
Which I'm wondering if they're still on the travel ban.
Oh, yeah, true. They probably are because I was listening to XM radio is pretty cool. Like the shit that came with my car. I actually listened to fucking Fox Business, which is pretty cool. I like Fox Business.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about how Trump still expects there to be some sort of qualifiable list of things to be done
Right.
before relations are completely normalized between North Korea and the U.S. So apparently Trump's planning on making this actually happen, and that Kim is being serious. But back to the what started all this. Yeah, so the Supreme Court with the Muslims.
Yes.
Yeah, and like a year ago, I wrote an article about why it's not a Muslim ban and why it's wrong to call it a Muslim ban, even
Right.
if you're against it, you're shooting yourself in the foot by calling it a Muslim ban.
Right.
Because if anyone's paying attention, they know it's not a Muslim ban.
Right.
And if that's all you're screaming, why would anybody listen to you? Like, why would I listen to you? If it's not a Muslim ban, call it what it is. Just call it a travel ban.
Right.
Even if you don't like it, fine. Just don't call it what it isn't.
Right.
That's just gonna turn a lot of people off, like me, because you're trying to politicize me. Like, don't politicize me. Like, I'm not. That's not what the ban's about.
Right.
They're banning.
You do
some
enough of your
very-
own politicization.
Yeah.
I don't need your help. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with self-politicizing your own self or family, or certain groups, as long as the groups are fine with it. But when like the far left wants to politicize me for my sake, it's like, you don't even know me. You're just lumping me in
Right.
with everybody else,
Right.
just so you can make a point. It's
Yeah,
like,
which
no,
feels
thank
cheap.
you.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
cheap.
Yeah, it's very fucking cheap. Yeah. But they have 7 very specific countries in the Middle East and Africa that's on the ban, and they make up less than about 10% of the Muslim world or less. Very specific countries with very specific reasons on why. And even if you don't agree with them, the reasoning is like there's a lot of extremism and terrorism that's going on in those countries. Even if we're at fault for that, like with our foreign policy, like, you know, all the wars we've been doing, still, don't call it what it isn't.
Right.
Because it's like Somalia, Libya, Yemen, Iraq, Iran, Syria.
Iraq is not in it.
Yeah, Iraq is off.
Yeah, Iraq is not
Iran,
off
Syria, and something else. And obviously Venezuela
Venezuela
for
and
whatever
North Korea.
reason, and North Korea, you know?
I also thought it was interesting when I was reading about it that that the list has actually changed, and that Chad used to be on the list, but since they've actually revised their visa process, so now the U.S. took them off the list because they say, hey, we feel more comfortable now that you are, you know, you're getting more information about these people who are traveling. So now we're going to take you off the list.
Right.
Wow.
And that it's possible that they could amend the list even in the future and take other countries off if they improve their system. So,
and you know, at the end of the day, people are forgetting this was actually an Obama ban to begin with. I don't know if you remember this. From
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it.
I'm certain.
Yeah. No, this is the same list that Obama had. He's just enforcing.
That's right.
it.
Yeah, and it's just now being enforced. I remember talking about
Same thing with the separations thing.
right.
You know.
Right. Which the separations thing was from 1997.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
separation thing was from 1997, and even before that, we were separating children from their families with Elian Gonzalez.
But you know what? It's a really good idea. We should wait 21 years to throw a fit about it.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Let's wait 21 years, and then we'll say it's a problem.
In all fairness, that makes perfect sense because we aren't allowed to pick on people until they turn 21. So ideas have to be 21 before we can start insulting them.
Right, apparently.
Right. Because, you know, David Hogg, way too young for us to fuck with yet. That's just mean. But when he turns 21, fair game.
By the way, as far as I'm concerned, and for the record, David Hogg is fair game.
Oh yeah.
100%.
He is fair game.
100%.
That's
like the frick. Okay, because I'm gonna have to go out there. I'm gonna have to go out and say this, even though it's slightly blanketing a bunch of people. But I say this because I still haven't seen a liberal act or a progressive act differently. All of them have said David Hogg is off, you know, limits, and then a lot of them either remain silent or drag what's his name?
The other one?
Trump's
Kyle Kasha?
Yeah.
Or Barron? Who?
Barron?
Yes. Barron.
Barron.
Okay. Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you were talking about Kyle or Barron. I wasn't
not
sure which
Kyle.
one. Yeah.
Well, that too, actually, that counts. But I went with Barron because he's even younger.
Right.
Right. And
And there's all that stuff that came out with...
Yeah, but also think about this. Barron is living his life in the White House like a good little boy. We didn't hear nothing. We haven't heard anything from him. And David Hogg is out, putting himself out there, being provocative. You know, he's making himself fair game. If Barron was doing that, you know, we would have something to criticize about him. All they're doing now is sitting on the sideline saying, "Oh, he's autistic," or "Oh, he's a weird child." It's like, you're just being a bully at that point.
Right.
You know, David Hogg is asking for it, and he's a prime target.
Absolutely. Like, one of the things that I've got written down on the list is Peter Fonda.
Yes.
And the tweet that he sent out recommending or hoping, I guess, that Barron Trump gets kidnapped and thrown into a cage with pedophiles.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And, I mean, his movie...
That's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah. And his movie, you know, his movie's coming out. Nobody's saying anything.
I have no
about
idea who that is and what his movie is.
Peter Fonda?
Yeah.
I mean, he's an actor.
I just know about the tweets.
Right.
So.
Did you ever see the movie Easy Rider?
Nope.
Uli's Gold?
Is he like a famous person?
Yep.
He's related to Jane Fonda.
And Bridget
I know who that
Fonda.
is.
Bridget Fonda?
I know who that is.
Yeah. I believe the dad of Bridget Fonda.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
What's his movie that's coming out?
I don't know. I just know he has a movie coming out.
Well, people aren't going to go to that then.
Right.
Well, some people. But yeah, you were gonna say.
But yeah, I mean, he's been acting since the '60s or the '70s. I think he's an Oscar nominee a couple times over. There have been a few movies he's been in that I really enjoyed. Like I liked Easy Rider.
Yeah.
It's the ending. I was like, that makes zero sense. I mean, it's just over. But Uli's Gold, I thought was fantastic.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, 1997, so good.
I mean, he's kind of been off the radar for a while.
Yeah, I mean he does this weird thing where it's like he comes out every 5-10 years with a new movie, and this was that movie. I think is the one that's coming out, and he comes out right before that saying, "Let's get Barron Trump raped by a pedophile," and it's just like what? Now I'm not defending what Roseanne said,
Right.
but I feel as though what she said wasn't as bad.
Right. Well, he's clearly, I mean, he's inciting violence against a child in a very explicit way.
Right.
You know?
100%. Which, I mean, that is the MO of many people on the left, if not the entire left in general, but I don't want to do a blanket term on everybody out there. Because you got Maxine Waters.
Mad Maxine. Low IQ Maxine.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you got Maxine Waters coming out and recommending that more people turn away, people who work in the Trump administration, who turn away Trump supporters from their businesses, which, as a private business owner, you have every right to do so. I have zero problem with
You sure do, yep.
Don't care.
That's what freedom tastes like, baby. It works both ways, though. We don't have to make you no damn homo wedding cake either.
That's oh my God. I can't say it, so I'm glad he's here.
It's freedom.
It is. And, but you have the right is all freaking out about Sarah Sanders. Sarah Sanders Huckabee. I was like, I can't remember which order that went in.
Right.
Sarah Sanders Huckabee getting kicked out of the restaurant.
Right.
And they're like, oh, they can't do that. It's like, yes, they can.
Right.
100% they can, because we just fought for them to be, no, I don't want to serve this gay wedding cake. And I agree with both sides.
100%.
Neither one of these people should have to serve these people if that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Nope.
And the people are like, oh, the right's getting ready to do all these protests, and don't you think that's wrong? No, that's different in my mind. Like, yes, you can protest the red hen. I don't care.
Right.
Don't use the courts.
Right. Well, now Red Hen has made their position clear, which as a private business, they're completely allowed to do. But 100%. We also, as free citizens that are living in this country, have every right to say, well, we don't want to eat there. We don't want nothing to do with that place. And that's every free person's, prerogative that lives in this country.
Yes.
100%. Yeah, it's been really hard approaching that topic with, like, my gay friends, obviously, since most of them are left-leaning. But, I mean, I've had some success explaining to them how it is without getting them to hate me, Because the topic of the baker came up with the one the Supreme Court ruled on,
right?
Where they said he was it's considered art,
right?
And at the end of the day, and then what I started asking them, is, do you want it to be like, yeah, we won, here, take my money, evil Christian baker, and make me that cake and deliver it to me? Like, why do you want to give money to someone that probably doesn't like you and is not going to do their best making a cake?
Right.
I think go to an LGBT. First of all, don't get political about cakes. Like, it never was political.
We are way beyond that at this point.
Yeah. But go to a pro-LGBT bakery that is going to put all the love into it,
right. Well, at this point, I mean, at first it was like, okay, gay people were like, well, just accept us. And then they're like, well, let us get married. And now it's like, bake me a cake, bigot. And it's like, you know what? I don't have to. I don't have to. And the government can't come down here and say, you got to make that cake, And you know what? That guy said, I'll make you a cake. That's fine. He's like, I'm just not going to make you a gay wedding cake because morally I don't want to. And it's not the government's place to force anybody to do that. And I think gay people forget that they're not the only people that need their rights protected. Other people shouldn't have to sacrifice their rights to place the LGBT community on a pedestal.
Yeah.
If we're talking about equality, this has to go it has to go both ways.
Yes.
And this guy, his liberties have to be preserved as well, because if they are stripped, it's dangerous. It's bad for all of us, because then it's a ripple effect.
Did you hear about the T-shirt maker?
No.
Did you?
No.
He's being sued right now because he wouldn't make Pride T-shirts. He's a Christian T-shirt maker.
Go somewhere else. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
he wanted. So I thought the story was cool. He wanted to. He said Christian T-shirts were really quirky and not cool, and he wanted to make cool Christian T-shirts. And then he does all kinds of T-shirts now for people, and he's never refused T-shirts if someone was gay or lesbian or whatever.
Right.
Until it came to the Pride T-shirts, he just didn't want to.
Right.
And even that's even, in my opinion, it's even easier to go somewhere else to than a bakery, because you got Teespring, right? They make the majority, I think, of online T-shirts, because anybody can go on Teespring and make a little thing, and they'll make it for you. You know.
Right.
And anyways, he had 2 lesbian T-shirt makers that own their own business come out and support him over it, because they're like, because now they might have to do something like that, you know, like they might then have to make something they disagree with.
Right.
It's fine if they disagree with Christians or Muslims, but now if you force the Christian to make a gay T-shirt,
Right.
now you're going to force the gay people who are atheists maybe, because not all gays are atheists, but who maybe are atheists, now they got to make all these religious T-shirts.
Right.
You know, and their name is now on it.
Right.
You know?
My argument for it was, and I used this a long time ago in a debate that I was having with a lefty family member who doesn't watch us. But they were like, no, I think they should have to make the cake. And I said, okay, well, if Westboro Baptist walked into a gay bar and ordered a round of iced teas, should they have to serve them?
Right.
And, of course, that answer was no. And I said,
Just like what happened with the
what's the difference?
with the
Right.
coffee shop in Seattle.
Seattle.
It was a
With the
pro-life.
cops.
No.
No, that was Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, pro-life Christian group was handing out pro-life pamphlets. They weren't being mean or anything, but
Right.
we entered a coffee shop operated by 2 gay men, husbands, I think, and they were kicked out. Nothing about it.
Right.
Nothing. And that's fine,
Right.
obviously. And it's like, that's very hypocritical
Right.
to ignore that or say that's fine, but not when it affects you.
Right, but if you think about it, this type of ideology that you see coming from the left is it's kind of indicative of their entire platform and what they're kind of pushing for, and the direction that they want to move in is more government, more control, more rules and regulations, and
As long as we agree with it.
right, as long as they agree with
Right.
it, you know. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, that has been what's been happening. It's like, no, we need to move into this direction. We need to start accepting this. You, as a business owner, you don't have a choice.
Right.
You have to do these things. And
Yeah. Obviously, I've had people tell me, well, if it's a public business like that, they shouldn't be able to pick who they get to serve. And I'm like, where did you get this word public business from?
Right.
That
Right.
is not even a real thing.
let's see. Public business, USPS.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and they don't discriminate, you know?
They will mail that package. It may not be as well mailed as UPS or
Yeah.
FedEx,
Right.
but it will be mailed.
Like, yeah, there's no such thing as a public business. All businesses are private that at the end of the day have to abide by government regulations that are forced on them, but they're still a private business.
Right.
They can instead just shut down and nobody gets cake.
Right.
Right?
It'll be like North Korea. Nobody. Not only does nobody get cake, nobody gets food on top of it.
Right.
Oh. So let's move on to immigration. Man, we're pumping through this. I was about to say pounding. This is episode 69.
That's how we do.
Let's do a little bit more on the immigration. I know we touched on it
Yeah, with the Muslim one.
with the Muslim one.
But now it's a Mexican one or
No.
whatever. You know, I've had people tell me stuff like, Muhammad, I didn't expect you, out of all people, to have these opinions. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't tell them that, but in my head, I'm just like, what does that mean?
Right.
It's you expect me to think a certain way because I'm brown?
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah, you and Kanye West are supposed to think a certain way because you're brown. You know, just like me being of this complexion with this haircut, I'm supposed to hate you.
Yeah.
And there are days I do. But
Yep.
not because of the color of your skin, just because of the content of your character.
Right. And apparently because I like to suck dick, I'm supposed to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Or Bernie Sanders.
yeah. Or Bernie.
Or Bernie.
you know.
Or Bernie.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Fuck identity politics. Can I say that on the show?
you can absolutely say that.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. Like,
Had we gone that long without cursing?
what-
No, I think we broke the seal
Yeah.
already.
Okay, I was like, man,
you know, like some
we went
people
40 minutes. That's amazing.
some of my friends, who some of them flirt with alt-right stuff, and others who don't, who are like right-leaning, say that we need to use identity politics, but on the right. And I don't think we should. I think we should do the opposite and like show how diverse we. Just do the opposite. Just show how
Right.
diverse we are,
Right.
Right.
And how that's freaking awesome. Like Muslims, gays, you know, like
Right.
Jews, you know, like we have every blacks, you know, we have all of it.
I mean, if you take a look at the 2016 presidential election, on the left you had Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and
Two other guys.
what was that guy's name?
Jim Webb.
Thank
was
you,
One of them.
Jim Webb.
And there was another one, the one that was good looking. He was like an older guy that everybody like fell in love with. You know what I'm talking about?
That was Bernie Sanders, wasn't it?
No. There's like a good looking late 40s, early 50s guy.
Oh,
that
Mike
everybody-
O'Malley.
Yes.
Mike O'Malley.
Everybody was in love with that guy.
I don't
Apparently.
even remember him.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you had 4 white people, most of them old, boomers or before,
yeah.
and you like the Democratic Party, like, oh, we're the party of diversity. Take a look at that stage as opposed to Ben Carson, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, who's orange, so that counts as
Yeah,
different.
right? We have a Cheeto.
Right, Rand Paul, like
Yeah.
it was very much more diverse on the right than the left in the presidential.
Right. But also, you know, when you talk about diversity, you have to.
And Jindal. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Bobby Jindal, the really dark-skinned Indian guy from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Right.
Martin O'Malley.
Martin, yeah.
Not Mike.
I see it kind of, that's kind of the direction things are moving. I mean, you have these patriots that are coming together. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. I mean, geez, are we talking about Martin Luther King again? You know, it's like, it's so far beyond that, you know, and everybody wants to get stuck on race these days. It's like, you know, it's so diverse. You have people from all over, and then even beyond skin color, which is so superficial, you have diversity of thought. You know, of all these different people that have different ideas that are celebrating each other's ideas instead of, you know, coming at each other's throats, like Maxine Waters threatening to harass and assault people that have different ideas. I mean, it's absolutely disturbing and troubling, really, when that type of rhetoric becomes normalized.
Yeah, dude, in that Republic of Kyrgyzstan Facebook group, like, some of these people are die-hard Trump supporters. Some of them even slightly mistrusting of people like me, but none of them have treated me with disrespect. Because I comment on there pretty often.
Right.
You know, and haven't been banned. No one's actually said anything mean to me.
Right.
You know, I mean, I've seen the off-color remarks every now and then, but then I'll respond, you know. But it's crazy how the hardcore, like, probably alt-right people, I get along. Well, I don't get along with me more than like certain Democrats do. That's freaking. It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
And it's just, and I think probably on both sides of that, it's got to do with ideology and the fact that you agree with them.
Yeah.
On that, like,
because a lot of times it's economics, like it's economics, stupid,
right?
You know, like it's economy or whatever that phrase is. The economy's stupid.
It's the economy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I see that so often where, and I've read studies on it, that people on the left are going to be much more likely to defriend somebody or not date somebody or whatever because of a difference of political opinion. And I don't care. Like,
Right.
if I disagree with you, I don't care. But
Well-
I would imagine you have a difficult time with that.
Yeah, so actually I have a lot of experience to that, or with that. So like I kind of said before, I had come out when I was 19, so I was living out, with no issues for years. And then when I came out as a conservative, my background's in film. I worked in LA, Hollywood for many years. The majority of my network of people are left-leaning, to the extreme, die-hard, liberal, burn your bra, tree hugger, whatever. When I came out as a conservative, the backlash that I received is unbelievable. I mean, I'll never forget that moment in my life when these people that I had developed relationships with, become friends with, spent so much time with, years with, they knew who I was. They know my character. I didn't change overnight, completely turned their back on me, and just completely rejected me because I wasn't subscribing to their mold.
Right.
And that's why I think diversity is thought so important. I mean, we talk about, all the different nationalities or, ethnicities represented in the Republican, National Convention or whatever. But you look at the left and they are pretty diverse. The people come from all over, but they all have the same thoughts. They all have the same ideas,
Yes. Now, I've dated two women who we ended up breaking up over political differences.
Mm-hmm.
Just, two out of the very long list of women that is. I think it's 7.
The list?
Yeah.
No, you already said the number like a couple months ago. Remember the book's right there. We talked about it.
Listen. My mom watches this show every once in a
Never
while. I
mind.
never would have said
It was
that
my
number.
book, Mom. I'm the one with all the women.
I never would have said that number out loud. But yeah, so 2 women have been like, "Oh no, you're too far right for me, so I can't date you." And I was
Right.
like, "That's funny because you're really far left, and I don't care.
Right.
I just find you really attractive, and I
Right.
enjoy hanging out with you.
Right.
I just try not to talk about politics because I
Yeah.
find that's actually really easy to do and a good break."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So but they've done the studies, and it's like people on the left are more likely to break it off because of that, or to not date. Like
Right.
there was a study. Who wrote that? Washington Examiner said that Trump aides are having trouble finding dates in D.C. because everybody hates them.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't go work at the White House.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that I was offered a job, but
As a gay conservative male, I will say it's hard to date, especially in St. Petersburg, which is a fairly liberal city, and
Yeah.
the gay community in general is fairly liberal. It's hard to find other people that share, the same ideas that I do, or even if they don't, somebody that would look at me just as a human, as opposed to like some evil,
right.
Yeah. Over the last 3 years that I've been in the Kava community, out of I don't know, I guess must know at least 30 or 40 gay and lesbian people. I know like one conservative lesbian and like 5 conservative men out of all of them. So like
you have to introduce me to those.
Yeah. So no, but I've heard the same thing from them too, like how that's not an easy thing.
Right.
But yeah, even I have thought about.
Nick Lanigan agrees.
I might have to. I've typically, for whatever reason, always ended up with like liberal girls, and I don't know if politics had anything to do with it, but I'm starting to shy away from liking liberal girls because it's just too much when it comes to the whole politics thing. I think that might be the crux at the end of it all.
Right.
Like, I don't care. Obviously, I don't care. But
No, just God bless you for being there.
Right.
I don't care, but I've also been unfriended on Facebook by other liberal friends, and I'm just okay, that was weird. Okay, I guess we're not friends anymore. I've never unfriended anybody over that. Only time I've ever unfriended people is like when they're disrespectful to my friends, which sometimes ends up being right-wing people, not left-wing people, like
Right.
my own people.
Yeah.
When somebody can't handle just being civil online, because I prefer that. I prefer just, hey, yo, be civil or don't talk politics on my page. That's how I look at it. I know we've talked about this before.
Right.
It's really, I mean, with me, it's an image thing, because like I'm trying to throw a large net out there, just get people to listen, and then we can hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
Yeah. So, how did we get on this?
I don't know.
It's a good topic, though. It really is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a real issue that's happening right now to a lot of people. I think we've all
I was gonna say
experienced
all
it.
of us have experienced that one.
Yeah.
Right. I knew for me, and it was the same thing with my sexuality. I got to a point in my life where I was like, I can't live a lie. Get this out of the way. In order to be your best, true, authentic self, you have to be able to be open with who you are. So how are you supposed to live in a society where the government officials are encouraging other people to harass you?
Right.
It's insane.
That's how we got there.
Right.
Good call.
See, we bring it back
way
around.
to bring that one right back around. Yeah.
Cha-ching.
So yeah, with Maxine Waters going out and saying, we need to do more of this, and screaming about it, and like we need to keep all of Trump people out of our businesses and blah blah blah. One, your businesses will fail.
Yeah.
That will happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will crash and burn hard.
Mm-hmm.
Also, whenever you try to do a protest on a private business because of political reasons, things like Chick-fil-A Day happen.
It's like the best day.
I thought it was so funny that you guys were eating Chick-fil-A at Pride.
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way.
The Lord's nuggies. Wash them down with liberal tears. Good.
But you showed me the video. I don't know who that guy is
Yeah.
in the video, but you showed me the video of that guy just mowing down on a Chick-fil-A sandwich at Pride.
My
I was like,
favorite.
It's just chicken. Come on.
well, no,
And it's good chicken.
according to the Huffington Post, we need to draw a line. It's either chicken sandwiches or I support gay people.
Right.
I can't apparently do both.
Can't do
Yeah.
both. No.
What if somebody just doesn't know about the whole Chick-fil-A, whatever? Not that Chick-fil-A is anti-gay or anything. Definitely, I don't think you wouldn't say they are.
I don't know if their policies have changed. I know that the owner supports traditional marriage, which I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. I don't know if he's overtly against same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
I don't really think, for me, it's kind of irrelevant when I'm eating a chicken sandwich and it
Yeah,
tastes delicious.
I mean, what happens if you don't know about any of this stuff? What if you're not a political person? You just walk in, and you're a liberal, and you just walk into, you're the gayest liberal ever, and you walk into Chick-fil-A to order food. Like, what are you now?
You're
you
the
know?
gayest liberal ever eating Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely.
In the eyes of the left, the Hillary Clinton defense does not work when it comes to Chick-fil-A. Ignorance is not a reason for you to be like, oh, well, I just wanted a tasty chicken sandwich with some waffle fries.
Right.
No, I am sorry. Ignorance is not a good enough excuse.
But apparently, though, with Maxine Waters, that call Nancy Pelosi and I don't know if it was Schumer or somebody else.
Yeah, it was Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, Schumer.
They actually came out saying, no, you're dumb.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
actually think that's smart that they said that.
I agree.
Because
100%.
if I'm wrong, which is impossible, if I'm like the wrongest person about gun rights and libertarianism and free markets, you're not going to win me over by doing what Maxine Water did. You're going to win me over by talking to me. Like, that's just a matter of fact thing, right? If I'm wrong,
Yes.
'cause I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong.
I mean,
I
it
can admit
happens.
that. I could be wrong. Shit. I'm not going to listen to you if you treat me like that. I'm just
Right.
going to be like, oh, no, I'm right.
Right.
Because I wouldn't do that to other people. But this is how liberals do it. They want to ban people and not serve them and just go all out on it. And they want to politicize everything. So,
Right.
no, I think that's one thing I think Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, I can give them that. Like, good on you. You're doing yourself a favor. You know, you're doing your political views a favor. That's just true, whether we agree on politics or not. So good on them.
But what was interesting is after they did that, which I agree, I thought it was a good thing, Maxine Waters just came out and just doubled down.
Yeah.
And she did not take it back. She didn't apologize. She denied that anything she said had anything to do with the Red Hen or any of the other incidents that are now happening that we're hearing about. And she just reinforced her position. So, I mean, whatever, Maxine. Whatever.
I mean,
We should record that. Whatever, Maxine.
Whatever, Maxine.
Like, have a button for it.
But I mean, I will give her credit for just being like, no, I'm not backing down from my position.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say.
It's very Donald Trump of her.
Right?
I remember, so, God, that was like 6 months ago. There was this story out of Europe, and I believe it was Denmark. Don't quote me on that one, though. But there was...
Is that the one where the Prime Minister of Denmark came out and told Bernie Sanders they're not actually socialists, they're actually
No,
capitalists?
not that one, but that's also a
Okay.
good story.
I know, I just had to say it.
I know. But, like, in whichever country this is, they have these anti-bullying laws. And you don't actually have free speech. It's weird. But some guy who was from that country walked into a bar and he was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. And this girl from America saw him and just starts berating him. Like, you can't wear that. Do you know what that means? You look like a hardcore racist, fascist, redneck, blah, 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 whatever. Right? And he's like just sitting there trying to enjoy his pint, as they do. And like the bartender was like, oh, you can't do that. And she's like, no, he's being racist. And they're like, no, you really can't do that. And she screamed about it again. So she was arrested. And in my head, I went, that's the America you want.
Yeah.
Right.
That is what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, it's fine if I yell at you about your views, but don't yell at me about mine. Don't make me feel bad. Don't bully me.
That's the kind of America that likes to tell people around the world how to live their lives, you know?
Right.
Because he said he was a Danish guy, right?
Yeah, I can't remember what country it was from because it was 6 months ago.
But he wasn't American.
He was not American.
Yeah. Yeah, the Donald Trump wave is crazy, man.
Right.
I mean, shit, I went from the guy that was against him to the guy that might vote for him this time, you know? So, whatever.
Right.
And that's also because I don't see the Libertarian Party putting up anybody that makes sense.
Oh, no, they're going to be welding America together.
Yeah. If the Libertarian Party runs Bill Weld, he's going to win the primary. He's going to get nominated by however the fuck the LP does it. It's the delegates, right?
Yeah, they do a delegate.
Yeah, he's going to win, and I'm not going to vote for Bill Weld.
I'm not voting for
I'd
Bill Weld.
actually rather Trump.
I'm not going to vote for Bill Weld, like, especially after he supported Clinton in the 2016 election when he was the VP nominee.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Like, there could have been a way for you, because I could have said what he said without supporting her the way he did.
Right.
He just said it wrong, and I think he meant it too.
He 100% meant it.
Yeah, like when you're the vice president nominee of Gary Johnson, who could have probably done a lot better even, considering all the mess ups he did. Because I voted for him in 2012.
Right.
2012 Gary Johnson is not 2016 Gary Johnson.
He smoked too much weed.
And it's probably not a joke. Like 2012 Gary Johnson was good. Like, I'm surprised. He he tried selling too much to the left rather than to the right where he should have sold. You know, like, instead of focusing on getting mad about the term, what was the term he got mad about? Illegal immigrant? Was that the term? Undocumented workers.
Yeah.
I think he got mad at one of those terms, and he like made a big hissy fit about it. And everyone was like, what in the world? Like, that's what you're getting really passionate about right now? Yeah. You know, like, he could have said something without getting all weird about it.
Right. So
and then the Aleppo thing and the tongue thing.
Okay, so the tongue thing was hilarious. I mean, awful politics.
What is
Have
this
you
tongue
seen that?
thing?
Okay, so he
No.
said, I feel like the media is making me bite my tongue. And then he did the rest of the interview biting his tongue and talking like...
He was talking with his tongue.
And it looked bad. And I was like, I voted for you in 2012. You did not do any of this dumb stuff.
He was high.
Yeah. And like in 2016, the LP was on, like, everybody was talking about the LP. Like, they might win. And
that was their chance.
Could have won.
That was their chance.
All he had to do was focus on economic stuff and actual libertarian stuff.
Right.
And then all he did was focus on, how do I win Bernie people over? And I'm like, they're not gonna join the LP. Like, Bernie people don't get libertarianism, and I may have met one that does, but most of them don't.
They get it. They don't care about it.
Or that, I don't know. But even if they come over for like that one election, they're not staying. You build a political movement by making them stay, and that's actually what Trump's doing. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, that's what Trump's doing. People are coming in to stay, you know? That's not what the LP is doing. The LP is being very exclusive. And that's something I noticed early on, which made me not like the LP. You know, like, why is it so exclusive? What's up with all this Ron Paul hate out of nowhere? You know, like, people were bashing me for liking Ron Paul and Rand Paul. Ooh, they're Christian. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Right. No,
like,
and
Jesus, I'm Muslim. Boom. Whatever.
I know a lot of the Ron Paul hate. Okay, so back in the 2014 state convention, I think it was 2014. Gary Johnson was was the speaker, and that was where I got a chance to meet him for the first time. Super nice guy, super nice guy. And in it, he said, "Yeah, illegal immigrants do pay taxes because most of them come here with a fake social security number. So, yeah, they do pay taxes. So you can't really say they're living here for free. Understand that? Agree with it. Get that." The Ron Paul thing, he was like, yeah, Ron Paul would talk about all these bills, and he would say, no, I want to vote no. And he would vote no, but he would add stuff in to help his home state because he knew the bill was going to pass. And that's where a lot of it comes from.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Because he knew the bill was going to pass, so he would add in like the extras so that he was House. So like his district would get extra.
I feel like they can
funding.
mental gymnastics this one.
Yeah.
Ron Paul did that to show how stupid Congress is and how congressmen can get away with things. Boom. That's it. Ron Paul did nothing wrong.
I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm saying that is the argument that they use.
That could be a good argument for calling him out on some slight hypocrisy.
Yes.
Not an argument on bashing Ron Paul forever and his supporters.
No. I
You
agree
know,
with that.
like, Ron Paul is what brought a lot of people in the LP. That's just how it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he opened the eyes to a lot of people about all of that.
And now, like, you have RLC and House Freedom Caucus stuff growing. A lot of people don't want to stay in the LP anymore. They have commies now in the LP.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like, you people are running commies.
Which is why I'm really rooting for Joshua Smith to win the Libertarian Party chair.
Yeah, I hope he gets it because I don't like you-know-who.
Yeah, Nick Sarwark.
Yeah.
We've been saying his name on this show since day one. I'm not stopping today.
Yeah, Nicholas Sarwark, he's the chairman of the LP, and he's weird.
Do you think that from a libertarian perspective, do you think a lot of those people in the 2016 election, do you think they gravitated towards voting for Trump?
Libertarian in general or
Yeah.
Libertarian Party? Because those are two different things.
Well, libertarians in general.
Okay. Now ask the question again. I'm sorry. Did we levitate towards voting for Trump? Is that what you said?
Do you think that a lot of libertarians ended up voting for Trump?
I think
A good
that,
amount did, actually.
yeah, I think a lot of them.
I don't know how many, but a good amount did.
I
Because I
think
have a lot of
them
libertarian
did.
friends who did. And yeah, actually, I got a good chunk of friends who are libertarian who did. And some ended up regretting it during some stuff, and then some ended up going back. I stayed quiet. I didn't vote, obviously, for anybody.
I like how you say obviously.
Well, because I said that. A couple
I know.
times,
He has not seen that.
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I
tell me
didn't
that.
vote.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't vote for anybody.
Right.
Just because I was not going to vote for Hillary. At the time, I was not going to vote for Trump because I really wanted Rand. Like,
Right.
I still think Rand Paul would have been a better choice, personally.
Right.
And not that's obvious. I mean, I don't have to tell you that I'm not disparaging Trump by saying that because you're smart. Some people, man, when you say you like something, obviously you dislike the
Right.
other options.
The other option.
Right?
Right. I really like Pulp Fiction. That does not mean I don't like Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, exactly, you know. But now looking at it, you know, I can't regret my choice of not voting, but that's why this time around I am thinking of voting
Right.
for Trump because the scary Muslim ban wasn't a Muslim ban, and it's not coming. The one thing I did disagree with is the wall, and that's maybe I don't know what's going on with the wall, whether it's a serious thing or not. The reason I don't agree with it is I think it's a waste of money, and I think there's other ways we can fix immigration.
Yet you
Not an open
support
border guy,
Space Force.
you know. Huh?
Yet you support Space
Well,
Force.
yeah, man. Have you watched The Expanse? Or like Battlestar Galactica? Like, that would be awesome. The USS Low Tide.
The wall, too much money. Space Force, okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
How the... Okay, imagine this, guys. Like, USS Low Tide. I'm the captain because I get commissioned.
Right, of course. That makes sense.
I'm the captain
So
of this
far,
ship.
we're not in a fictional world.
Right.
It's a cruiser-sized ship. We got about 250, shipmates on board and 50 Marines. We're just patrolling the outer rims of the solar system. It's just us humans, and out of nowhere, bogeys incoming. And then it's like all hands on deck, red alert, because they're not responding to hails. It's like, hello, we are the USS Low Tide, we see you coming. Who are you? And we don't know. But then they shoot at us, So we're getting ready, man. Yeah, we're getting ready we're going to get ready to board them before they board us. But boom, they're already here. They beamed on our ships.
Oh, shit.
Okay? And then we die. A valiant, fiery death. And they make a statue for our ship and me. It'll be awesome. And, I'll be a symbol of the fight for human superiority throughout the galaxy. It'll be badass. That's why we should have Space Force.
That is why we should have Space Force.
I don't know, man. I think it's a good idea, but if anybody has any legitimate concerns, you can share. It's good, man. We can make a movie out of this.
It would be a good movie.
I mean, we were just on Saturday. We were talking. What is it? The Fermi? Is it Fermi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Fermi principle or whatever it's called.
Yeah, paradox.
And we're alone in the universe.
Yeah.
And yet you're like, no, bogeys are going to be coming in from.
Well,
no, they're
then-
not.
Being on the USS Low Tide at the edge of the solar system is the most boring thing you can do, because they're having fun on Mars.
Right.
Like, all the construction girls and guys that are working, and the people guarding them. That's fun. All it is alcohol and partying with the locals.
On Mars.
Yeah.
Man, you're going to get put on the moon.
Yeah. Worst deployment ever.
It's
not even a real
planet. Yeah,
deployment.
not even a planet.
Is there something else to cover?
No, not really. I mean, that's pretty much all the time we got for today.
Oh, we ended with my story.
We did, yeah.
Unless you have something to say, if you want to plug yourself.
Do you have
don't
anything to
stuff?
plug?
No, I mean, I'm just happy to be here. I had a good time, actually, for my first podcast.
Yeah.
That was great. I do have an Instagram. It's called Brokeback Patriot, if you want to follow it. There's my plug.
I love
There's
it.
my real plug.
Yeah.
That's broke
But it-
What's it- what's-
Patriot.
It is
Okay.
It is the Brokeback Patriot.
Is it just
Brokeback
broke
Patriot.
space back?
No, it's just Brokeback Patriot. All
Okay,
one
look
word
that up.
on Instagram. That's me.
I think we're following you
Changing
already.
Yeah.
the game. All right.
Oh my god.
No, this was great though. Honestly,
Oh no,
I will,
yeah,
I hope
absolutely.
you had
I will
fun,
come
dude.
back anytime you guys would have me. This is fun.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
it's been great having you on.
Cool.
And you're more of you can be like our resident Trump guy, because we
Perfect.
don't have a resident Trump guy yet. So
Perfect.
that's you.
No, I mean we've got somebody who wants to be the resident Trump guy,
Who?
John Sterner.
Who?
John Sterner.
Yeah, but this is better.
I know, much better.
Sorry,
oh, shit,
sorry,
John's
John.
watching. You can come on my show, John.
He has a show that's gonna be airing every Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for coming on the show. By the
Yeah,
way,
of course.
I definitely appreciate it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's been
See, Nick Lanigan knows it'll boost the economy.
right. It has. Did he say that?
Yeah, he did.
Jeez.
Yeah, we're both economics majors. We know what we're talking about.
I'm not going to get into this argument with you on why that is so wrong.
Okay.
Political science majors. All I need to say. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. Definitely appreciate it. We'll have to run down we'll have to run down to Low Tide after this and do a show together.
Yeah.
Man, you're a slacker. Jesus, Mo.
Yeah, man.
You want some?
Yeah, let's do one last bula for
Give me a little.
Low Tide.
For the bula.
For the bula.
I do it for the bula.
All right, shells up. Thanks, Low Tide. Bula.
Bula.
And remember, we have all new programming coming out.
Yeah, brand new schedule.
Brand new schedule. We are going to be every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Mo is going to be doing
Mondays.
My God.
Right?
Yeah, Mo Liberty with Bro Hamid on Mondays at 6. We're going to be every Tuesday. Wednesday, we have My Fellow Americans. With Spike Cohen. We have... We have me, the writer's block, on Thursday, and then every Friday, Caleb Franz with Mill Liberty.
Yep.
So it's going to be just a fantastic week.
So now you guys get some kind of something every day of the week.
That's right. And
but they'll be specialized. He's doing his own thing on his own show. I'm doing my own thing. We'll see how it goes. I kind of want to focus on like an educational thing, just so I don't keep the extra long rants that I do here about economics on that show. You know?
Please, God. Yeah. Please, dear God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Muddied Waters of Freedom. You can follow us on Instagram at Muddied Waters of Freedom. You can follow us on Twitter at Muddied_Waters. You can follow Mo at Mohammed Shaker and look for the sign that says Mo Liberty with Bro Hamid. Or you can follow me on the brand new Facebook page, The Writer's Block, and that is spelled WRIGHTERS. Writer's Block.
Cool.
Got anything else?
Well, just remember, guys, where we're going.
Oh, wait, what song did we start out with?
Self-ownership.
Okay. Go again.
Oh, and remember, guys, where we're going.
We don't need roads.